Tyler, how are you doing, buddy? This is, we just tried to record this podcast, and the camera decided not to work. Just as I was patting myself on the back for trying to figure out how to get the camera to work, but we're here. We're here. How's it feel?
It feels good. I would say like happy third episode I think this is, but I don't know where we're at because we keep having to start and stop and
The amount of times that we've recorded, partial episodes and then had to go back I mean, we didn't get that far into that last recording, so I don't feel too bad about it, but it is getting a little frustrating, especially since your camera works so well. And that's the most frustrating part, is that you just have the lucky side of the table.
if I could offer any help I would, believe me. But I this is all you.
I just want your luck, because I swear it's just you really do have the lucky side of the table. Which, by the way, we got a new table and a new setup here. So if the camera does kind of shit the bed or stop working again, before I was able to kind of manage to fix it, but now I'm kind of far away. So you are either gonna have to fix it, or we're just gonna have to keep rolling, and everyone's just gonna look at you instead.
Yep, just say like camel toe or something and I'll hit the button. We'll get back on track.
Yeah, the camel toes. Camel toes, the new code word. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna go with.
Do you have camel toes on the mind a lot, or is this just
No.
kind of?
Just figured I'm gonna pay attention. My ears are gonna perk up when you say it. I don't know. I'll know what to do.
I mean, that is true. Whenever anyone uses the term camel toe, you just innately kind of your ears perk up, right?
For sure. But yeah, dude, we're in like day 3 of like 70-degree weather. So I'll take some bad if that means we get some good with it.
It does. It does feel good. I was outside. I had a couple appointments that ended up canceling on me, so I just kind of hung outside the barber shop in a chair. Felt like one of those Elmwood bums. It was nice. It felt good. Yeah.
We got out and hit some balls.
Yeah.
We did.
Oh, me and you. Oh yeah, yeah. We hit some. Dude, I'll tell you what though. Did I show you my? I have like a callus on my finger. I mean, it's more of a blister than anything.
Join
but
the club.
It did not feel good. I felt like, you remember that episode of The Office when I think it's Andy who hit like 2 buckets of balls before that really important golf match, and his entire hands were like all fucked up. That's how I felt the day after.
Yep, I'm with you. I don't know if I hold the clubs too tight. Mine feel like when Kevin dropped the big pot of chili, like from holding it for so long. Like my hands just hurt, and I don't know if because we got a jumbo thing of balls, which I've never heard of.
Me either. And because I said large, and the guy was like, "Do you want the large or the large?" I was like, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
I'm pretty sure he said, "Do you want smaller jumbo?" And there was a huge discrepancy in size.
Huge! It's almost like it's 2 large buckets is what we got in one jumbo, which is kind of crazy.
It took forever, and my hands are sore. That's not a lie. So I believe you that your hands are fucked up.
Oh man, it was nuts. But you know what? It's one of the I feel like I'm getting to the age now though where this is the only sport that I can do. Like I can't do any other sport. And I went bowling like 2 weeks ago. We went bowling, and no joke, I felt like I popped my fucking hip out of place, and my left leg, I felt like it would have felt better to cut it off. Like it was that sore. It was ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad you have golf because I think, I believe I'm in shape, but I don't think there's a sport that I could say, my body doesn't hurt after doing this, and I'm only 27. I could probably say basketball, but I was playing in the turkey ball a couple years ago, like football, right around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I pulled or tore my hamstring or something. This was like fucking 5 years ago, and it still bothers me if I walk wrong.
Well, because I don't think you went to a doctor, which means you didn't get it fixed.
Your body's supposed to heal itself.
That's not how it works, man.
Well, whatever.
Who told you that?
Me. I diagnosed myself and just figured it's going to work itself on its own.
Yeah.
But, dude, every time I play any kind of extracurricular activity, I hurt. You got to take a day off of rest.
Does that, and it's weird like that because we went and golfed, and I went and, bowled. Could you imagine what these, like, UFC guys who were, like, 30... Because I feel like UFC fighters, they fight into like their mid-30s. Like I think
when
that's
their prime is.
Exactly. Could you imagine getting the shit kicked out of you at 30? Like I'm fucking getting a gutter ball, and I'm like struggling to walk the next day. Can you imagine this guy getting a fucking kick to the face?
Hell no. I think if I threw a baseball, like if I try to throw as fast as I can, like 55 miles an hour, I would throw my arm out, like right out of the socket. It would go with the ball. And I couldn't imagine being jabbed in the face 35 times in one round.
Yeah, and or getting choked out and being like, what the fuck happened? Speaking of UFC, did you hear that they are doing like a full event? Like they're a full fans, a full stadium for their.
In
Is it
Jacksonville. We
is
got to get down there.
is that the next UFC fight?
I don't know if it's the next one. The next big one, I think,
Well,
maybe.
you follow UFC far more than I do, so I'm like not, I guess, plugged into all of the ins and outs of what's going on.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, they're going to do one with full fans. They were trying to do one in Texas, but Texas was, or Austin or something, and they were like, not today, buddy. But now Florida's going to let them. So it'd be nice to have fucking fans yelling at you.
Do you know what? I understand people. Like, I've met people who don't like UFC. They don't like watching people beat the shit out of each other, which I get.
My dad.
Yeah, but I will tell you what. You cannot fucking. You have to respect Dana White. Because this motherfucker, during the height of COVID, was like, oh, you won't let me host, my sport?
Business.
I'm gonna go to another fucking country on an island and hold all these fights. Like, could you imagine being like, fuck you, I'm just gonna rent an island or buy an island to do whatever I want to do on?
Well, yeah, and the great thing, I love Dana White, and the great thing about it is you don't have to like the sport. Like, as a businessman, like, during this global pandemic, it was like, are you going to survive or are you going to die? And he survived. He adapted and, took off running, never looked back. The entire thing.
Which is, I mean, like I said, you gotta respect the guy for that. I mean, so I guess we'll see. I mean, do you think it's gonna go off without a hitch? Like, what do you think's gonna happen with?
Yeah, they've been going off without a hitch. Their operation is so clean. I mean, they've had people test positive, but it hasn't, fluctuated with any of the cards or anything, mass spread, nothing. I mean, it's gonna go off great, I think. Whatever they're doing should be the model for every other sports business.
Now, are they in a different situation because there's only a finite amount of people? Like I'm assuming they're creating like the bubble or whatever, right? So do you think it's easier for them than anyone else? Like, I mean, it's really tough to watch hockey in like Buffalo, but I feel like there have been so many outbreaks in hockey, and I feel like, again, you never really hear about the UFC or fighting. Is it just because they're in their small little bubble that they don't really have to worry about it?
Well, I don't know anything about hockey, so I don't know how that's going.
Sorry, you're not missing much in Buffalo.
Probably why I never paid attention. But I'm not so sure that they're in a bubble. I think that it's just like, obviously Fight Island is a bubble, but they still do shows in Vegas, which I guess is kind of the bubble, the Apex Center, like their own institute. I don't know. This will be different when you're in an actual venue, but they've been down in an actual venue like last year in Florida.
See, I don't remember that. Like, not that I wasn't paying attention, but I wasn't like plugged in, so I don't even know.
Yeah, way before, like, when basketball got canceled, they went down to Florida and had a show. I don't think it had any fans, but they still put on a whole card, a whole pay-per-view event.
Speaking of pay-per-views event, do you know what I would pay money for? Like, good money. Like,
Hit me.
Oh my gosh.
Hit me.
If I would, we talked last episode about like celebrities fighting. We talked about like Lamar Odom and Aaron Carter. I would pay to see like celebrities fight politicians.
What?
Like, would you, which celebrity? So there are celebrities out there that I think could actually hold their own in a fight. Okay, there are some that I think are marketed as action people, but I think would get their fucking asses kicked. And there's also some politicians that I'm like, I would not fuck with you. There are some pansy ass pussies. So like, my question for you is, which celebrity do you think could hold their own in a fight, and which do you think holds their fucking like chest out but would get fucking smashed if they were in any sort of fight? And I don't necessarily mean like a professional fighter. I mean just in a fight.
Well, there's obvious people like The Rock. I don't think The Rock nobody's gonna challenge The Rock.
Just because he's big, or because you think he can
I
fight?
think he trains. Well, he did the wrestling thing. I don't know what you do for that, but he's got to train something to stay in that physique, whether that's boxing or something. Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, people in action movies.
No, see, okay, so I think Keanu Reeves could definitely hold his own in a fight. I think Tom Cruise, because he's in the whole like Scientology thing, I think everyone just like sucks his dick for like 24 hours a day. That gasses him up, but I don't think he could actually fight someone.
See, I don't know.
Okay,
because Tom Cruise is the weirdo that does his own stunts.
Oh,
so I think
sure.
he's definitely, if there's like hand-to-hand stuff, I think he's definitely in some kind of training or something for it.
Yeah, okay, but I see the
Even
Keanu
though he's like
Reeves training.
5'4".
Oh, but that's just it.
And
That's it. So
125.
I'm like, all right, let's say it's Jason Momoa, who, you've seen videos of him. He like throws axes and like lives on a fucking farm. I think that dude could hold his own. I think
Just
he
because
could.
he's big.
Well, yeah, but
That's my rock.
But I think he's also just like an outdoorsy, active, real life person. Like I just don't think Tom Cruise actually survives.
Ain't about that life.
No, exactly. Like I feel like, again, I've watched so many documentaries on Scientology that I'm convinced that none of them actually like the celebrities actually live like real lives. They just get their dick sucked and it's like peddle Scientology, sell books. So I'm convinced that Tom Cruise doesn't actually do anything, right? I get that he does his own stunts, but like, man, whatever. But Jason Momoa, I think he would throw an axe at someone and like fucking kick his head off, like legitimately.
Are we using props?
This is
Or like a hand-to-hand hold your own?
We're talking like a Mortal Kombat fight, like literally just like in the middle of fucking woods. People like they can do whatever they want.
I
don't
think
know.
Tom Cruise could go psycho on somebody's ass.
But he's 5'3", 5'4".
All 5'3" of them. I
No.
think he might be able to do
No,
some karate, like jump spin kicks.
no. What about politicians like Dan Crenshaw? Right, I wouldn't fuck with Dan Crenshaw. If you guys, I think
Come
he's,
at him from the right side.
huh?
You have to come at him from the right side.
But I also just feel like he is a veteran, so he's been able to take care of himself enough. But also I feel like there's something about someone who's lost a limb of any sort that at some point they're like, well, what else do I have to lose? Like I think they just
Has
have
he
that
lost
meant.
a limb?
I categorize an eye as a fucking limb.
Okay.
Or a very vital body part. No.
Very vital, yes. I
Yeah.
just didn't know if limb,
Okay, I'd
Like-
count it as a limb.
one arm, two legs.
If I'm being honest, if Dan Crenshaw didn't have a leg, I still wouldn't fuck with him.
Jesus. Okay, that's one. I couldn't. Politicians is a tricky one. I think I would be able to beat every politician's, like
Ooh.
Congress.
I saw Tulsi Gabbard do it with like some pull-ups, and I was like, I wouldn't fuck with Tulsi either.
Tulsi's a savage.
Tulsi is a fucking savage.
I like Tulsi.
Me too. But I mean, okay, let's say, who do you think has? I guess.
Like, I would knock Mitt Romney's head clean off his fucking body like a little dandelion. And he's all of whatever 6'4" or whatever he is.
Oh, he's a big motherfucker. I'm trying to think who else? What other politicians do you think who you could take in a fight?
All of them.
All of them?
I just don't see. I mean, I'm not by any means gassing myself up. These are old, brittle men. The hands are gonna break if they hit me. And they don't. They're so.
What? Okay, which politicians would you pay to watch fight? That's a good question.
Each other.
Yeah,
Ooh, that would be a good one.
I know.
Like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell.
And that would be
A literal battle to the
that.
death.
I wonder what that scenario would play out as. Like, I'm convinced McConnell's like on his deathbed, but I also think Pelosi's kind of like a closet
I think
alcoholic.
she's immortal.
Pelosi,
Yeah. I think she's gritty. I think she's pulling hair. She's doing everything. I would have Nancy winning that fight.
Oh no, I'd have McConnell knocking out her fake teeth. I'm convinced she has fake teeth too, and I think that would happen. But
I just have to say this,
Go ahead.
like on a side note.
yeah,
Have you ever seen the cans on Nancy Pelosi?
okay. No, and I don't think I really
They're
want
fucking
to.
massive. And I just noticed it the other day. And she's like 90 years old. And I was just bewildered by it.
You weren't bewildered by her fantastic policy decisions?
No.
That was a joke.
If
but-
I could, I would fight her.
Jesus.
Straight up. That's frowned upon.
No.
So I obviously wouldn't do that.
What other old ass politicians are there that I would want to watch fight? Who's the?
I would love to see the Cuomo brothers fight each other.
Oh, okay.
That could be a really good
Which
one.
is the Chris Cuomo's the news anchor, right?
Yep,
He's the
CNN.
one that benches like the 700-pound dumbbells in his office or whatever,
Have you
right?
Yeah, and everybody thinks that it's fake.
It definitely is fake.
It's too easy to be.
It
Either he's
100%
fucking
is fake.
brolic, or it's crazy. He is jacked though.
Which Cuomo brother do you think would win in a fight?
I'd have to go with Chris. Just age, and I just think he is jacked. There's no doubt about it.
I think I would go with Chris too.
But Andrew, that big brother thing, he could just grab him by the neck and noogie him. I mean,
Now, do you think that would actually happen though? I mean, like I know this is a crazy theoretical situation, but do you think Andrew Cuomo's in his he's so used to just grabbing people and
There's a shot.
that was a shot. No, you're right. No, I would put my money on Chris. I think Chris Cuomo is. This is so tough. I don't know. I think Andrew Cuomo can't do anything except for talk. I think he just talks to people. He talks. Blah, 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 blah. I think Chris Cuomo can actually hit him with the fake dumbbell. I don't know.
And there's a part of me that thinks that Chris Cuomo could be like a nice guy if he wasn't on CNN. So like I would just kind of pulling for him for some reason. I don't know.
Like, what do you mean? 'Cause I here's my issue with those Cuomo brothers. Right? Is I understand that everyone really liked Andrew in the beginning of the pandemic, and I understood the concept. It's just every time either of them say anything, I just can't trust what they're saying, and not any political side. It's just I feel like they're both just like skeevy. Like every time they talk, I'm like, ugh. Like when there's a movie and it's like a mob boss or like Italian mob boss or whatever, and they talk, you're supposed to not like them. Like
Right.
the acting, it makes you not like them, and that's exactly what when they talk, I'm like, there's something inside of me that's like I'm not supposed to like you.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
they're playing a role. Maybe I don't really care much for Andrew Cuomo at all, but like Chris Cuomo, I feel like he's playing a role on a TV show, which is CNN. So I'm like, I'm not really liking him, but he's just a big goofball, I think. Like he just works out and he just talks shit like the rest of us. Because you've heard some of those clips where he goes
Yeah.
off on people.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it for some reason. Like he's a little bit normal.
Or he just comes off like maybe. Again, I think he's a character. Again, I'm convinced that everyone in the public sphere is just playing a role in their characters, right? So maybe you like him and you just like the character that he's been being paid to play.
I don't like that. I think
No?
like the real Chris behind cameras, I think he's different, and I kind of feel like I want to like that guy, not the guy you see
Okay.
in front of the camera.
Gotcha. All right. I see what you mean. Speaking of other politicians, other countries, world leaders, I wouldn't want to fuck with Putin. I feel like he's,
Doesn't he
there
wrestle
was
bears.
exactly. He would wrestle. He has wrestled bears. Like there's who's the MMA fighter from
Habib
Exact-
Nurmagomedov,
yeah, him, and he's from Russia, the Russian whatever it is.
Dagestan.
Yeah, and he wrestled bears, and I feel like Putin has wrestled a bear, and I feel like he's calling out Biden. He's trying to wrestle Biden, and I would put my money 100% on Putin all day, every day.
He's calling to wrestle Biden.
No, he's calling to debate him, but
Okay.
it's not quite the same thing.
That's not so much of an insult. Like let's talk is more of an insult than let me take you behind the whatever Joe Biden said. Let me take you behind the bleachers back in my day.
What did he say? He said something like that.
Back in my day, we'll take you behind the bleachers and I'll
Hit him
give
with
you
a
the
chain.
1, 2
No, what did he say?
buckle my shoe.
What did he say that when he was doing the interview at that public pool? He was like, back in the day, we used to take a razor, get it wet, put it on the curb, get it rusty.
We'll give him a staph infection.
Oh, yeah, no, but Putin called out Biden to do a live TV debate, because Biden was asked some question. He said that he thought Putin was like a murderer or killer, and
Yeah, I
he
saw
said
that.
yes, and then Putin was like, well, wait a minute, like, what?
Come talk, buddy.
Could you imagine, like, could you just, I don't want this whole thing to be about politics. I think it's the last thing that's on our list to talk about that has anything to do with politics, but could you imagine what that debate would be like? And just any political sphere, but just any video I ever watched of Putin or really any other world leader other than our own talk, they're so eloquent. They know exactly what they're saying. There's a level of poise to them. And then I hear Biden talk, even just recently. He's reading a teleprompter, and he can't finish the sentences in the teleprompter. Like, I'm just trying to picture what that debate or conversation would be like. Like, I can't.
It would be bad for the United States.
It would be terrible.
We have to protect that man at all costs from doing that. Because he's out there. He's probably like, I'll fly over right now. I'll give him a piece of my mind. We'll talk. We'll talk like good old guys. And meanwhile, the rest of the country is like, please, no, we'll get bombed into oblivion once they realize we're being led by this guy.
He'll bring a straight razor, put it in a bucket, hit it against the curb, get it rusty.
As far as a fight, that wouldn't be much of a fight.
Oh,
How
it
old
wouldn't.
is Putin? I would have thought like mid 50s or something? Because he looks in good shape.
He looks in great shape. I don't know how old he is. Do you
Also,
want
a
to look it
little
up really quick? I'm saying 55. 55 is where I'm at. I don't actually know though.
55.
Yeah.
He is 68 years old.
Jesus, 68. 68?
Looks damn
He
good for a
looks
68-year-old.
Damn good for a 68-year-old.
And he's not tall. Let me see.
Oh, he's tall.
No.
6'4". 6'4", calling it.
No way.
6'4", calling it.
168 centimeters.
We're in what's
Five
it in American?
5'6". So here's one.
Stop. He's 5'6".
Yeah, he's a short dude, small guy.
Shit.
Here's one.
Okay.
Tom Cruise, Vladimir Putin.
See, I want to go with Cruz because I want to rep America. That's my
Coming out
thought
with
process.
the American flag on him.
But Cruz is a Scientologist, and I swear I just cannot get behind anybody who believes that there was a galactic battle and we are controlled by an alien race that flew into a volcano. Like, that's a fucking crazy thought process. I guess no crazy in any other religion, but to me, that's fucking batshit crazy. I would root for Cruz, but I think Putin would win.
I would put all my money on Putin.
Really? Because he would fight dirty, or because he would actually win?
I actually think that I've heard that he trains like jujitsu and judo, and
Stop. What fucking Russian citizen in his right mind would actually beat the shit out of Vladimir Putin?
also, true. I don't know if those are like legit black belts or whatever they say he is. Probably not. But the fact that he does it, and I'm sure
He has base knowledge.
I'm sure he hits mitts. I'm sure he does all that shit because fucking Russian people fight. That's what they do.
They get drunk and they fight. That makes sense.
I would pay good money for Tom Cruise versus Vladimir Putin.
Is that so? You would put all your money on Putin then?
Money line.
Money line.
Yeah.
What do you think the money line would be?
But that's just straight up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not taking over under rounds. Do you have any celebrities that you would want to fight?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh man. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta think of that.
Just because I have one.
Who would you fight? Let me think who would you fight?
There's no rhyme or reason behind why I'm going to say his name.
Okay.
But for some reason, I hate Nicolas Cage.
Why? He's such a great actor. He's a national treasure.
Punny. Everything I have seen, I don't like the way he acts. And everybody says he's a great actor. I can't stand to look at him.
Who says he's a great actor?
You just did.
It was a joke.
Okay, well, I took it serious, so maybe everybody else is pulling my chain.
If he's a great actor, Nickelback is a great band.
Nickelback is a great band, and I will die on that hill.
Said fucking no one ever.
They're good at They're not good at. They're good at everything.
You were gonna say they were good at everything.
They're good at
and you
everything,
took it
not
back real
great.
quick. What are they good at?
All they're rocking.
No, they're not good at. All their music sounds exactly the same. It's all just fucking.
Whoever writes that shit, Chad Kroger, he's a good lyricist. He's got some good music in there. I think it started off as a
this
joke.
Photograph. Every time I do it,
Everybody
makes me
puts
laugh.
out fucking shitty lyrics every now and then. You got their fillers. They're fillers. Nickelback is good. I think it started off as a joke, and I never got the slander.
Oh, I guess you're right. I don't hate them as much as everyone like the joke, puts it out there, but I also don't like them. Like I'm not, All right, who would I fight? Celebrity wise. I would fight.
I want to fucking karate chop fucking Nicolas Cage right in the side of the neck.
I would fight Jaden Smith.
What, the kid?
The kid. He's a grown ass adult.
How old is he?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's legal enough to
Because he got famous young. He might be wanting to fight a 16-year-old.
No. Every time I listen to him say anything, I'm like, you are the dumbest fucking human on the planet. And it's so frustrating because 22. Perfect. I would definitely fight him. He was in that fucking Karate Kid movie. He didn't learn shit from Jackie Chan. Fuck that kid. But I feel like every time, every time I hear him talk, he's spewing out some fucking psychological mumbo jumbo bullshit that makes no fucking sense, and it fucking hurts because his dad was such a good actor, and I feel like the second he started backing his son in movies and shit, it's like Will Smith's career went fucking downhill, and his son's career was already downhill.
Okay,
So
I got three things.
go ahead.
Wasn't Will Smith into Scientology too with Tom Cruise?
Yes, and that's why he wasn't. I guess wasn't talking to. He has another son, which I guess he discommunicated from because he wasn't in on Scientology,
Okay.
from what I heard.
Two,
He's like a DJ.
for him to be your answer, he doesn't come up, I think, nearly as much in my life, like to where that would be my answer. Like, I never hear of Jaden Smith unless it's some bullshit movie or something.
But where does fucking Nicolas Cage come up in your life? There's
Oh,
it's the,
never.
it's
I
the
guess,
same
yeah, okay.
correlation.
Okay. And three, I just want to say on the record that I love Will Smith. He's on my Shia LaBeouf list.
Listen, I like Will Smith.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
what I mean. It hurts that his
I wanna-
trajectory. Like name since I'm trying to think what the last good movie Will Smith was in. Can you name the last good movie Will Smith was in recently?
I might be able to say that I watched it, but off the top of my head, no. But it's the same thing with all the good actors. I mean, Adam Sandler, all his great stuff was early.
Yeah, but Adam Sandler, I just feel like so Adam Sandler came into comedy at a point where his comedy it was a certain level of comedy, right? And I feel like the majority of the world was at an emotional level where that was funny. It was like lowbrow humor. And now everything's offensive. Everything is like, and his jokes just don't land the same. Will Smith was like a dramatic actor, dramatic roles, and he just emotion and fucking feeling. And every time he's in a movie, I'm like, I don't care. And maybe it was like a plethora of things, like having a fucking annoying ass son that you have to listen to, having your wife literally fucking cuckold you and fuck like some random dude. Like maybe it was a plethora of things that caused Will Smith to just decline and everything.
Maybe.
But yeah, Jaden Smith, fuck that kid.
Jaden Smith. Yeah, and it's now that I think about it, think about all the celebrities. Every time they talk, it's like they're trying to be a prophet.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, just fucking talk like a regular person. You were once a regular person.
Were they though? Like, was Jaden Smith ever a regular person? He grew up in Scientology. His dad and mom. His mom fucked Tupac. His dad was one of the best rappers / arguably the best rapper actor duo ever. Right? Can you name another better actor duo or rapper actor duo?
Rapper actor, I don't think so. Maybe.
Childish Gambino, maybe.
Tupac.
Okay, and his wife fucked him. So like, it's all in the family. It's all in the fucking family, and the kid is still fucking talentless.
Yeah, I'm not.
See, now you're starting to
I'm not
understand.
big
You're
on
understanding
but
where I'm
he's-
going with.
Yeah. I guess you have more of a reason than my Nicolas Cage.
Wasn't he in like God of War or Art of War or something? Nicolas Cage, and that movie was actually very good.
Don't
You
care.
don't
I
care.
don't want to
You
watch
still
it.
would want to fight him.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you said a celebrity that could hold their own.
Yeah,
Like Michael B. Jordan.
sure. Wasn't he like trying to get into like the fight game? Like he was trying to train and
I'm
Fight
not sure.
after
I
Creed.
just watched Creed too. That's why I said that. Even though it's long past due.
Did you see the video of him recording Creed 2 and getting knocked the fuck out?
No.
I guess they did that for real. Like it was scene. It was like the knockout scene. I think I never watched any of the movies, but I think he got knocked out, and it was like he just stood there and some dude just fucking like knocked him out for the camera.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
I respect that. Like, let's think about like the real good actors, like Matthew McConaughey.
Sure,
That dude gets in an argument.
he's from Texas. I mean, that
I'm not
doesn't.
sure does that hold any weight.
No, but if it was between someone from Texas and like someone from Portland, I'd be like, oh, I got the Texas guy.
I might have Portland.
You're right. They're all fucking like
Yeah.
rioters. Okay, that was a bad example. Southern
Adam
California.
Sandler, I bet, could scrap.
Oh yeah, I mean he's from. Where's Adam Sandler even from?
No idea.
I would. Small people. If we're talking about small people, small actors, they're all fucking small. But Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart could fight.
I think he talks a bigger game than he can.
this was only supposed to be a part of our conversation, but I'm having so much fun talking about celebrities who would fucking win in a fight. So what did you say about Adam Sandler? Or sorry, Kevin Hart?
Do you have any? Let's put together a politician celebrity match. Could you do that?
That I would want to see people
Yeah.
fight.
Like, I want Chrissy Teigen to go up against somebody. She's so annoying.
You know what? There.
Chrissy Teigen and Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, I would pay to watch that. Would you remember? And not to bring up the fucking Kardashians again, but there was one episode that my ex made me watch, and it was like people paid money. It was like a charity. People paid money in order to fight the Kardashian family, and it was this guy that put up thousands of dollars to fight Rob Kardashian and beat the fucking shit out of him.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to think. No, I would 100%. If it was, what'd you say, Tulsi and
Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, that wouldn't even be fair. That would be sad to watch. But I'll tell you what, I do think Chrissy Teigen's very annoying. But she got the short end of the stick during the whole QAnon conspiracy thing. Like she was, because wasn't she on the flight logs of like one of the Epstein Islands or something like that? It was something like that. But she got roped into like she murders children and drinks their blood for like life force or whatever. Did you not know about that at all?
I think
you just don't
that.
like her for that, or for any reason.
Why? She's just always on my Twitter. She's like one of those self-righteous and always. She's one of the. Some people just love to hate, and like that's like their number one hobby is just hating on everything. Mm-hmm. And she's one of those people. And it just
I can get down
me.
with that. No, 100%. Yeah. So okay, I can get down with that. Let's see who else, celebrity-wise, that I would want to watch fight. Or celebrity versus politician.
I would also take the
who is the do you know who I would want to watch fight? Who is Dr. Drew and Dr. Anthony Fauci?
Ooh, hell yeah.
Hell
Dr. Drew would fuck him up.
I think so, because they used to work together. Because I was watching
Really?
the Your Mom's House podcast, and Dr. Drew would always talk about they worked like hand in hand during like the AIDS epidemic.
That's really funny because I knew that they were odds at the whole beginning of the thing.
Yep.
Mask or no mask or whatever, the whole thing. So that's funny.
And Drew didn't talk shit, but he, pointed out that Fauci got a lot of things wrong with like the AIDS epidemic and stuff, and the way he handled that. But I would like to see Dr. Drew and Dr. Fauci fight. Who would win?
Dr. Drew, hands down.
I think Dr. Drew's in better shape.
Oh,
100%.
Dr. Drew fucks and he is in good shape.
He does fuck. He gets fucked.
What about Dr. Drew and Dr. Phil? Let's have a doctor off. We could make a bracket with the doctors.
Hold on. Dr. Drew and Dr. Phil. I think Dr. Phil is. I've listened to Dr. Phil on like not on his show, like an actual podcast, Talk Like a Human, and I don't know where Dr. Phil is from, but he sounds like he's from just like the streets. I don't know, that I could just be totally off
He's
base.
a big guy too.
Huge. He's above 6 foot, right?
Oh, I think he's a big guy.
Let me see how tall he is.
Because what comes straight to my mind is like Donald Trump and Dr. Phil. Like I feel like they stack up very well against each other.
6 foot. Dr. Drew is 6 foot.
Oh,
Dr. Who else are we looking for?
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
I'm guessing 6'3".
6'3". Yep, 6'3".
I'm good. Like if you were building a UFC fight, let's bring it full circle.
Okay.
Dr. Phil and Donald Trump got to be the same measurables.
Donald Trump's a lot. He's like 6'5",
I thought.
5', 6'6", somewhere around there.
But same weight.
His son is like 6'8" or something crazy.
Who?
Barron Trump. Did I make that up? I might just made
he's
that up.
not that big yet. He did sprout, like a little bean sprout.
Barron Trump is
6'8". That dude's like fucking 13.
It does. Barron Trump height. Where does it say this? Oh, it's probably a kid, so it probably won't show up. Like it won't tell me how tall he is.
Long story short, I would take the vaccine straight into my.
Okay, hold on.
butthole.
Barron Trump is taller than Barron is taller than Donald Trump.
Wow.
Barron's taller than his father, so is 6'1" at least.
Well, Trump is tall. He's
Do we
way
make
bigger
up
than
all those
6'1".
things? Hold on. Donald Trump.
I would
height.
take I'm saying this again.
Yeah, he's 6'3", so he's probably 6'4", 6'5". Barron Trump.
I would
and he's
take
like 15.
the
That's crazy.
vaccine straight into my butthole if it meant we could have full fans to watch any of these fights we just did.
Okay, so all right, so we have. Let's get the bracket down. We have Dr. Drew versus Dr. Phil. No, no, no. We're starting out
Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci. All right. Then what?
I
Who
don't
we
know. We
got?
can think about it later.
Okay.
Gin and tonic's gonna make me forget a couple names.
Oh man. Are there any other politicians, fighting celebrities you would want to see?
I don't think so.
No.
That was fun though.
That was very fun. Oh man. It's like, see, and this is where, because obviously we're kind of joking. I mean, I would pay money to see all these fights, but I feel like you can't say these things anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe you can. Maybe I'm just getting inside my head. I just feel like these are the conversations I have with like people all day, every day. And I just feel like there's going to be somebody maybe that listens to this and they're going to say, those fucking assholes, those just disrespectful people.
We might be inciting violence, so they might rush the barbershop.
Listen, man, don't put that bad juju out there, because there have been people that have been throwing like bricks through like windows on like that block of the Elmwood strip that I'm on. So don't put
That's
that.
crazy. What's going on in Rochester? Because I was just on Twitter and Wegmans had posted. Somebody had retweeted it. I don't follow Wegmans. Somebody retweeted like, we're closed today due to the protests outside of our store.
No idea. No idea. And honestly, I think I got so politicaled out. Is that a term that I can use? Like during the election, I kind of just unplugged from everything after the election, because
That's me right now.
I got so fucking tired of it. And I'm starting to get back into it because of like what's going on with the border and Putin calling out Biden. But my God, I had to like check out. I just couldn't do it anymore.
I had to take a break. Like, I'm on like 2 weeks. You know, it's funny too because I love it. I love politics. I love the discussions. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
But it makes me so mad, and it's so time consuming, and it's so that you have to just fucking step back and be like, all right, let me clear my head out. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, and you know what? I got so annoyed, following politics, and I don't like try and hide which side of the political aisle, that I reside. But like what just is so frustrating is that there are news stories that come out and there are people that post on Facebook, and it's always so one-sided. It's always so one-sided. Like when the kids in cages story came out, I thought that was horrific, right? Like I thought that was terrible. I thought no kid, no matter what, should be kept in a cage. But then, there was some semblance of like order at the border. Like, they had stay in Mexico policy. They were putting money in. They were trying to take in as many, people that needed help as possible. But still, we can't just let everyone come over the border. And now Biden just got rid of all of that. There's a bigger influx, and these kids are still in cages. Like it's the same.
Not anymore.
No, you're right. They're intense.
No.
What are they in?
They're moving them to hotels.
Okay. Well, I'm talking before that.
So American taxpayers are going to house these.
Right. But I'm talking within the past couple weeks.
Or they're going there, I should
and say. They weren't letting anyone over like into these facilities to see. And then a Texas congressman, I think he was able to kind of get in and get these pictures, and it looks like there's human burritos. Like they're on the floor.
Yeah, and the airplane blanket, or those
like a
metal
looking.
What are they called?
Not aerospace blankets.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, whatever.
Space blankets.
There we go. I think that's what kind of there is. But yeah, exactly. You have these pictures, and they're just as horrific. It's the same thing, but it's on no news station. It's nowhere on Facebook. It's nowhere on these social media sites. And it's so crazy to me that it's like one side just decides to, what's that movie with the blindfolds with Sandra Bullock, who's also a really bad actress. Don't like Sandra Bullock.
I like Sandra Bullock.
Why? See, this is not.
I like that movie.
The one with the
good premise. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, it's the same thing. It's like they can't fucking see. Like it's just crazy to me.
I would watch that again.
Bird Box. I think it's what it's called.
Bird Box. Yep.
Yeah.
Good call. How do I want to say this? Yes, everything you said is true. But, like, you never know what's actually true. Because, like, when Trump was president and they were saying all these kids in cages, the pictures that they were showing were from Obama.
Yep.
So, like, obviously it happened during Obama. What happened before Obama? Like, how long has this been going on where it's a problem and everything? Like, you don't ever know the full story because everybody's just picking and choosing the information to support their
100%.
narrative.
100%. I agree with you 150%. And I think that has not a lot to do, but what I think is so fascinating is that we as Americans, maybe specifically as Americans, is that we only see what is shown to us or is like given to us, right? And that's a big deal with like Google censorship and everything. But I just mean if it's not in a CNN article or, if they don't decide to talk about it, we just close our eyes like it doesn't exist, right? Like how many underpoverished like countries do we see that are struggling? Like, I don't mean struggling. I'm trying to think the best way to word this, but how many warlords and like real human sex trafficking and all this fucking heavy shit going on in other countries that we don't even know about, so we just pretend like it doesn't exist. And the same thing with you. How long were those issues happening at the border that it wasn't covered so that people, out of sight, out of mind? And it's only now that it's, being thrust into our faces that we're like, oh, yeah, like now we're supposed to care about this.
Yeah, and it's cool to think like not really, but ironically, we're young people like us millennials. Probably everybody that's listening to this is going to be like a millennial, probably,
Yeah,
or whatever.
sure.
We're only like 2 presidents in to like being politically aware of stuff. I think nobody when Obama got
3.
elected 2008, we were 8, 12, 13, 14.
2000. Well, I graduated in 11, right? You graduated in 12,
Yeah.
so
But what I'm saying is 13,
yeah,
14 years old. Like we weren't nope. Hard to believe anybody's paying attention during Obama's presidency.
sure.
Trump gets elected, we'd all become politically aware. We're all pretty much grown-ups now, 21 plus. We voted for the first time, most of us, you know. So it's cool to see how everybody kind of starts forming their ideas to me.
Yeah.
Like they take all the information that we're given and then they become into the situation.
Now, do you think, I think this is innately American. I was talking to someone, a client that came in from Germany, and they were so fascinated about how we as Americans are so divided in our like political views, and it's so polarizing. And I forget what the story was exactly, but it was a story in the news, and I pulled up a Fox News article, I pulled up a CNN article, I picked up an MSNBC article. Every single article had a different spin on it, and you got a different ending point from every single article. And I was telling these people this guy, that none of these articles are wrong. None of them are wrong. None of them are unfactual. It's just they're leaving out things and they're spinning it in a way that benefits them and the narrative they want to get across. And that's the issue, is every single American person is getting their news or their just information from a different source. And it's not like those sources are wrong. It's just that
It's a caveat.
it's a different thought process in every person. So I understand, like I understand truly why everyone is so divided. And it's just because they put their trust in one specific organization and say this person is right. And I'm a firm believer that it's always somewhere in the middle. Everyone has agendas. And I just feel like more people don't, and I'm not sitting on my high horse and saying like I know what's fucking right, because
Right.
I don't, but each news organization, news source, news story has an agenda, and I think people don't realize that or don't care enough to look at that and say, oh, I see where their agenda, I see what they're trying to get out of it is. I don't know. Rant over on that.
No, you're right. I had an idea. Now I'm gonna brain fart. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What'd you just say?
I hope the people that are at home right now listening paid more attention to my fucking, or maybe I hope they didn't pay attention.
Here's
to
what
more
I was gonna
rant.
say.
Go ahead.
I think that like, see, I don't trust any polls that come out.
Right.
Cherry picked data to support your narrative, like we're talking about.
Yep.
But I think that if you were to look across the board of like the general public's, the everyday people's attitudes towards things,
Sure.
think that's not, we don't take into account for that. And I think that's always in leading into the good faith, good idea spectrum compared to what the politicians tell us to think about, how to think about it, what to think about, all
Okay.
that. And it's like there's just a big disconnect between what DC tells us are the problems, how to fix them, why the way that they are, and what the general public thinks should be our initiative.
Sure. And that goes into, everyone says there's like a silent majority, right?
And I believe that.
And I believe that too. And I think that's on both sides because I think that there's people on the left that are batshit crazy and their ideas are fucking insane. I think there are people on the right who are batshit crazy and their ideas are ridiculously insane. I think the majority of people are in the middle. And I think it's just it's a weird time in America right now, man.
Yeah. It's a nasty game. Well, here's an idea.
Okay.
What if we get rid of elections every 4 years and that person has to fight the next guy to remain in power? Like we'll vote for that guy.
I'll tell you what. I think people are complaining right now that every politician is like 85-year-old. Has been, yeah. And I think that would make the median or
we need
the
younger people in
average,
charge.
and I think that would help get us there.
Because you want to know what the problem is?
Yeah.
Like let's look at Joe Biden, who's 80 years old. Like you're so old that like you grew up with slavery, dude. Like not any of us. Like pick somebody 40. Like different ball game. Your
Sure.
agendas are going to be two completely different things. You have two different upbringings and everything.
And it's so funny because I hear him say things and I'm like, we grew up in two totally different times. Like I hear going back to the story about when he worked at a pool. Listen, first of all, if anyone has not heard this interview, I just want you to go on YouTube, type in Joe Biden pool interview, Joe Biden pool speech. It is the most insane interview
It's a
you
roller
will
coaster.
ever hear in your entire life. It's batshit crazy. It's all good. You're fine. It's nuts. Do you want to play some of it? Can we play some of it on here?
I've heard it so many
You've
times.
heard it. Okay. Just look it up. Look up Joe Biden pool interview. It'll make you laugh if nothing else.
Yeah.
I thought
It was funny back when it happened. Now it's just sad.
I don't know. I thought it was really funny. I still think about it and I laugh.
What else you got? That's a lot of political talk.
Speaking of, speaking of the border, do you have a favorite Mexican food chain?
Wow.
If you had to choose,
What a question.
If you had to choose between Mexican, Moe's, and Qdoba, what are you picking?
Between Moe's and Qdoba?
Mexican, Jesus, Chipotle, Moe's, and Qdoba.
Do I have to pick a chain? How many Mexican chains are there? I would pick Chipotle. But I don't eat at Chipotle often at all. Maybe twice a year.
Okay.
Moe's less than that. And Qdoba, the one near me, closed. So I don't even know where you could buy Qdoba.
All right, that makes sense, I guess.
I'd
I'd pick Chipotle too, though. I think so. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, Mexican food, completely different. We could talk about, like, what dish are you getting when you go there?
Oh, tacos all day.
Because, like, La Davina, if you're in Buffalo.
Ooh, La Davina's delicious. Those quesadillas.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what cheese they use. I don't know
The
what.
Mexicans can throw down in the kitchen.
Oh,
Or Latino, like Puerto Ricans and empanadas.
mm-hmm.
That's like a Puerto Rican type thing, right, though?
Careful, Tyler. Your white is showing.
I don't know. I love it all. I'll order it all.
It's so good.
Papi Grandes.
What is that?
I took a girl on a date there once.
Yeah, how did that go?
Dude, she talks so much. I thought my ears were going to bleed.
Stop it. What'd she talk about?
Fucking nonsense.
Really?
Yeah, like she was trying to make small talk like this entire date, and it was just blah, 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 blah. The waitress came over, and the waitress couldn't even get a word in.
Stop it.
And
Really?
she looked at me, like, after the order. She was like, good luck, dude.
So I take it you didn't go on a second date with that girl?
I met her one other time.
And was it just as bad?
I went to her house and threw down in my own kitchen, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
We got a little cheesy in the quesadilla sack.
Are you saying you filled her burrito?
Yes. Extra queso.
Oh my! Extra queso.
I could definitely go for some Mexican food though.
I-
I had okay, so this past weekend it was one of my friend's wife's birthdays.
Okay.
Like that I guess it's the following weekend. It was on Pi Day. So I went down and we went out and we got drinks and stuff and we went to somewhere, I don't even remember the name of it. And I got like some fish tacos.
Mhm.
Super good. But the
breaded or I mean fried or baked for the fish tacos, like fried fish,
yeah, I would have guessed it was like a fish fry, but like kind of lightly.
lightly.
It wasn't
okay.
so
like
much
a lightly
crispy.
battered fish.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Continue,
Super
sorry.
good. But the best refried beans I've ever had in my entire life.
Really? What made them? Do you think they came out of a can and you just like had the experience? Or do you
I
think it
have
was
no
actually-
idea. I could have ate a pound of it. It was so good, dude. I would go back just for those.
And where is that? Where is this?
Bemis Point, maybe?
Oh, so it's like back home.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Can I just point out really quick that we are almost done with this podcast, and whatever the fuck I did, this camera has not shut off one time.
High five.
Can we just give myself a little bit of a round of applause here? Because my God, I'm just gonna give myself a clap. But man, listen, I was so frustrated with this camera, and I don't know what I did. To be honest, I think it was set to auto shut off, and I didn't realize it.
Awkward.
But
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser! Good. Good.
but at least it's good now. Fingers crossed. Anything else you want to get off your chest here, Tyler?
Off my chest. I would like to lose a couple pounds off my chest.
I thought it was on your little pouch, your little kangaroo pouch.
Same thing. Is the camera on me?
Yes.
Whatever
it is.
this area is,
Okay.
the side boob, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I've tried to tone this, but this is another spot where it's stored, and I can't for the life of me get rid of it. So I think what me and you talked about was we're gonna try and do some like training stuff, like high intensity stuff to burn some calories,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm down. Whenever you want. We'll do it after work one day. We'll go to the park. We'll
Not one day. We gotta schedule a regimen.
a regimen. We'll get a schedule down. I'll punch you in. I'll put you in the calendar.
Deal.
I mean, we got to train because you gotta fight Nicolas Cage. I gotta
Yeah.
fuck up Jaden Smith. So.
Hell yeah.
So how about we'll plan that, and then hopefully, do you think we'll do it before next week's podcast?
Depends on what day we do it.
Also, speaking of that, I feel like do you want to keep trying to plan for Monday, or do you want to try and do? I mean, we've done Wednesday the past 2 weeks. I like Wednesday. I don't think Wednesday's bad, but it's up to you. How are you feeling?
I guess either or, it doesn't matter. I mean, we picked Mondays because you had the day off, but we didn't do it till later anyways.
Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, if anybody cares, put it in the comments. How about that?
Ooh.
We haven't.
Right now we have no comments.
No comments.
I'll tell you what though, our subscribers are growing, and we're getting the views on YouTube.
For sure.
So actually, we'll see if people actually listen. We should have done this in the beginning of the podcast, but
Yeah, in the comments, put who you want to fight, whether that's a celebrity or a politician or whatever other music star, whatever.
And just to clarify, we are not promoting violence. These are all theoretical, hypothetical fights.
something for you to
Just
dream
so-
about.
Exactly. I don't want people to just be like, we're calling for violence against politicians here, because I know someone's going to fucking say it. I guarantee.
Oh yeah, we should definitely put a disclaimer on
Yeah,
that.
we are not promoting the fighting of elderly men and women.
Yeah, I'm excited if we do that. Did I send you the picture of the guy at the last time I went to the gym?
Yes, you.
The baggiest pants.
I didn't. It's not hooked up, motherfucker.
The baggiest pants I've ever seen in my
Sorry,
life.
guys. I will get it set up and I will show you guys next podcast because it's not plugged in right now. But it looks like a guy from a 2005 rap video. Like that's
Yeah.
or he looks like he got drafted in like the 2001 NFL draft or NBA draft.
Which is remember that was the style back
Oh,
then.
100%.
Why?
I-
So baggy you could find
have no
you
idea.
couldn't find the person in the clothes.
I wonder who made that popular. Like what was it an actor? Was it like a musician? I mean, who
Maybe.
made that
I don't know.
style?
Do you remember like
But everyone did. Even like NSYNC, I remember them wearing the baggy ass
Yeah.
like
baggy was the style.
yeah.
And to think it's funny, like back then, we'll say 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Skinny jeans, skinny clothes, that shit was gay. Now it's in style.
Can't, dude. It's 2021. You can't use that
That's
as a
what they said.
derogatory term. That's what people called people who wore them. Sure,
Back then.
I'll get
now,
down with that.
Now it's in style. Nobody wears baggy stuff. Everything is fit. Everything is
Dude, but it's coming
skinny.
out. You hear about these Gen Xers or Gen Zers or whatever they are, the young kids, younger than us. They saying like skinny jeans aren't cool anymore. Like you can't wear skinny jeans. You got to wear like
Oh, what are they wearing?
I-
Capris?
boot-
Fucking Gen Z.
fuck those kids. It's Jaden Smith. It's those fucking people.
Yeah.
See, I'm telling
I
you.
don't know. He's only 5 years younger than us. Is he a Gen Z?
He's pretty close. He's pretty close. I
I
don't
have no
know.
idea.
It's
It's
weird.
I took that picture. He looked like the character in like a Mortal Kombat game, like like a Bruce Lee type dude. I mean, the pants were
like parachute pants.
fucking wild, and he was down like some chin up bar. He was doing full circles of some full
Stop it.
body thing.
This was at your gym?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a thing that you found on the internet and sent it to me.
No, that was it. I took it. The picture's blurry because I had to sneak it. I couldn't let it go to waste.
My God. All right, next podcast I will put that. I'll figure out the setup. Like I said, I'm just proud of myself that the cameras worked. Everything went out for the most part without a hitch, and it feels really good. Tyler, is there anything you want to say to the people before we end this podcast?
No, that
No.
felt good.
Guys, I'm still trying to figure out why our podcast is not on Apple Podcasts. I'm going to send an email today because it is still not on there, and I will let you guys know. But it is still everywhere else that podcasts are available. And with that, Tyler, it was a pleasure.
How long did we run?
This is a little under an hour, and hopefully people want to listen to the entirety of it. But on that note, guys, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast, and we will talk to you later.